Hi, I'm back. I'm Jill with Copycat Crafts by Jill, and we're resuming our envelope folio make. I believe this is maybe part 3, and we are going to be doing the 2 inside pages. So here's the one that's already completed, and it has a pocket here. It has a movable little play thing there. It has 2 tags here because it's actually one big pocket, that big, and then a pocket here with another swingy thing, and just a couple decorative pieces. Here is an envelope that I have a few things in, and here is a large pocket that I also put some things in. So there's that. And then on this side we have the opposite kind of flip with a pocket here and a swinging envelope here that is a pocket, and our tablet that this flips down, and here is our tablet. This is just coffee dyed paper. It's actually all coffee dyed, and you can replace the paper with any paper you choose by just taking out the brads. Let me see, am I in frame? Yeah, taking out those brads. That way, if you fill it up or if something happens, it rips, whatever, you can just put in new papers and easy peasy. So 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to do these 2 pages on the one we started. And I will probably have to refer back to this one, so I'm not going to let it get too far. Here's my little, a few little bits and bobs that I want to use when I'm decorating. Okay, so I did prep because it takes me long enough without prepping, but I will give measurements. That's why I have my ruler. I don't know how many are doing it with me, and if so, or even if you're doing it down the line, if you use one of these envelopes, then perhaps my measurements will do you a little good. Otherwise, you just have to work with your own measurements, because your envelope or how you choose to cut up your pieces may be totally different than my measurements. So all good. It's all good. Okay, now just to show you, these I made. I just had a piece like this. I put a notch on one end and then cut that out and rounded it. So it's about that. I made these a little bit bigger knowing I was going to do that. On the one I'm making now, I just was kind of thinking of, when I put it on, to just have a tab somewhere, have a tab. But I just figured most people have a tab or know how to make a tab. And it's not that it's easier. It's really not hard or difficult to... I have this notch maker. You decide how long you want your tab. You make a notch, boom, and then you just take your ruler and with a straight edge or a pencil, draw a line right at the bottom of the notch and cut it out. It's really quite easy, but I know there's a few people who don't care to work with like these type of straight edge. They just would prefer not to have to do that. So we will use tabs, and you can use, I just dug out a whole bunch here that all kind of match. I already inked these ones, so I think I'll use them. Not sure though. Nothing is written in stone here. And you have to do what you like, so either way is fine. These are the pieces for this. This will be my pocket on the bottom, on the back. You can put notches in if you prefer. So that piece goes like that. I did reinforce this. This is just a piece of paper that I glued on. It was a digital from Vibe Vintage, her washi tape. And I just glued that right down the center just for extra support because it will be flapping. And then this piece goes like this. I kind of marked it here. I don't know if you can see my little pencil mark because it will go up to that pencil mark. And it will look like that. And I was thinking of cutting this part out here just so that it lessens the bulk in here. Now, my card, that part there is 3.5. If you open it, I did put a little bit of a spine there. If you open it, it is, what is it, 4.25. So it's 4.25. Then I scored it at, did I score it at? I scored it at almost 3.5, but it's, let's see, it's 3 and 1, 2, 3/8, give or take. Then I scored it again at 1/4 inch, so there is a 1/4 inch spine, and then whatever is left over I notched because it will be going underneath. And for this one I did the same. I put a 1/4 inch spine in. Whatever was left over, that's what I'm using to glue down. So the whole piece is 2.25, and I wanted mine at 1.5, but it's a hair bigger than that, so it's probably around closer to, but you can make it as wide as you want, really. If you want to make it a whole 2 inches, you can make it 2 inches. I just wanted to make it thin so that there was a large difference between the two. Then, to decide where I want it for that mark that I made, I just put it here. You don't even need this in the way to do it. I put it here and decided how long I want it, about like that, give or take a hair, less or more, about like that. And then I drew my mark, knowing I want to cover the mark. I want this part up and over. Now, if I glue all that together, this starts to get bulky because I still have this to glue in there. So I'm debating if I just want to, cut this part out. So I think I will. Okay, if it ends up being a mistake, don't cut it out. Don't do what I do. All right, so here's about, I'm gonna do that a little bit long because I already marked it. Oh, I hope this isn't a mistake. Okay, and I'm cutting that out. And I'm just gonna cut along the back part of that score line there. Okay, I left a hair of that score line on. That may be a problem. So I may just finish taking off the rest of that score line. That way it doesn't get... All right, can't go back now, right? So I'm just going to quickly ink that edge. We'll have to see how that looks. I may, got a rogue long hair here. Okay, I just want to see, you're not going to see this part because that will go under the envelope. So this part here will get glued to the back like that. So I'll run glue here and glue here and glue here, and it will get glued like that, and it will look like that. I mean, I don't, oh yeah, I do have it where the mark is, so I can erase that mark then when I'm done. Okay, here we go. We're gonna glue here on that edge. How far up? I'm gonna guess rounded corners so I don't have to go all the way up. We're going to put glue there. Then we are going to put glue here. Hope you can see what I'm doing. And glue here. I'm going to glue like that. Okay, I'm going to sit it there a hair above my mark. Put it down. Put it down like that. Okay. Oh, yep, I didn't need glue right there. Okay, so we have that glued. That will get down. That will get glued down, I mean, like that. This goes on top. That will be the next piece we add. Well, almost. This will be the next piece we add, which is what makes this little pocket down here. So we're going to glue it. I did put little notches in. You can see little notches. And all I did was measure. It's just flat. All I did was measure this part like that. And I didn't want it sticking up. I didn't want it sticking up. I wanted it to actually fit down. If I don't know if you can see that, but I mean, just a hair down. You don't have, if you glue it straight up, you could glue it even. But so it's up to you. But I made it so that I could just put it down like that and glue it in. So I'm going to run glue on these 3 sides, and then we're going to put it in. Okay. All right. Spin it around. I don't know if you can see my score mark is right there, so that's where I want to put it, right there. Right there. Make sure it's down. Make sure it's not sticking out the bottom. And put it down. There, and you can see I just left a tiny hair. You can pull yours up and make that even if that's what you want, but I just thought it would be easier. It's all about ease. If when I want to use the pocket, if I really was able to have, you know, a little bit of space there. When they're totally even, I find it hard to wiggle a little tag or a piece of ephemera in there. Okay, so now we have that made. I don't want to put my tab on yet till I see where everything falls, where it all lands, and then Then I'm going to put, let me make sure that, yeah. Then I'm going to put my tab because I don't know if I want it up here, down here. I did have, I have some that match this. So I don't know if I want to use one that matches this or the round one. I just want to see. We'll see. Okay, back to this. All that yapping, and I think that's got enough dry. Okay, now for this piece, let me just quickly put some ink on this so you can see what I'm talking about. And this score mark here. You wouldn't have to. I'm just doing it so you can see it better. I'm hoping you can see it better. Okay, and this score mark goes all the way down. The reason why I want you to be able to see that score mark is because this gets glued by that score mark, not. So this will actually fit to the bottom, like that. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So this piece, this is where the long, let me see, I want to make sure, see, I want to glue those down before I, you know, better, they always come very loosely, and I like to make sure they're glued down. Little, oh, that side's good, okay. So this part here is the part that gets glued to right here. So I'm just going to put a little scribble on that so you see where I'm going with it. Down here and down here. It doesn't matter that these two are different sizes. It's going to go like that. Okay, and your envelope should be a hair smaller. So you want, I definitely want about even on both sides sticking out. So you put your envelope, put that down. Make sure the part that you don't want to glue it to is kind of flat on your surface. Then you want to move this in and push it up tight because that's what you want to glue it to. And you just want to make sure that you're where you are on both sides. And again, I don't measure, I'm going by eye. I want more or less even on both sides. Okay, so I am going to put my glue on here. And I don't know why my glue suddenly decided to not want to come out and play. But I think there's enough there. Okay. I'll have to get the pin after that. All right, so I put it about where I want it and shoosh it up. There it is. There it is. Okay. Fold it over, give it a little press. There it is. So this will flap and this will flap. And our little, which I rounded the corners. You can make your pocket as wide as you want. You could turn it into 2 pockets. You could glue it in the center. You could put notches in, so it could be 2 different pockets. You could put a big notch in and keep it one big pocket. I'm keeping it one big pocket because so many of these other pages have small pockets. We don't need more small pockets, so I'm going to keep this a big pocket. But yeah, this will get glued again to that back, and it anchors all of it down. So I am going to fold it all right where I needed it, right where I need it folded. It does get a little tough because I put paper behind there to reinforce it. Just want to give that an extra because this is where the glue is going to go, and then I'm gluing it down. So I am going to get my pin. Whoops. Okay, I'm going to throw my pin, and this is kind of the first time I've had to use my pin to do this. Okay. So let's do that. And you can trim them so that this wing part here is all the same size. It does not matter to me whatsoever. Just want it to be down. All the way down. So turn it around. Then you don't want to go past the last score line. You want to keep it in front of that score line. That's where we want it. Front of the score line. Okay. So there we have it. So that opens, that opens. That's straight down. Now, for because I'm putting a pocket here, this part here might interfere when I'm putting stuff in the pocket. So what I like to do is take regular tape. Usually I have the shiny stuff. And I just want to put, doesn't have to go across the whole entire thing, but I just want to put it down. Maybe I will still just put, should have measured it a little better, but just put a little piece here. Put this down, take my nail, rub my nail on it, make sure this is down really well. Take my bone folder, really make sure it's down. And then you have less issue with your paper getting stuck. It wants to glide over it. So I do that quite a bit when I can. I do that. Okay. So now we want to glue our pocket, our big pocket on. Just want to make sure I'm up where I need to be. I have a tiny bit on both ends. Yep, so let's glue that down. So again, I'm gluing the side here, the bottom of the pocket, and then this side. Okay. All right, so I'm going to hold up my edge because I don't want to go past my edge. The fold. I don't want to go past the fold. And make sure there's a little bit out on the top and a little bit out on the bottom. I'm going to put it down. I don't want to press too hard at first. There we go. Easy peasy. All right. And again, you could have run a thing of glue and made 2 pockets, but I wanted one here. Okay. There we go. We have that. Then this one. I, again, have my pieces. I have, as my first page, is coffee dyed tracing paper. So this is just tracing paper. You buy a tablet of it at Walmart, online. Just tracing paper. That's all it is. Coffee dyed. And then all the rest are also coffee dyed, but they are, I believe this is, if you go to the Dollar Tree, they have children's like doodle pads for drawing. And I buy them and I coffee dye them. And for some reason, they feel pretty thin paper. But till I coffee dye both sides and let them dry, it makes them feel thicker. And one piece of lined paper that was cut, so there's 2 pieces in here. But this will be my cover page, because this one also is my cover page. This one has numbers. On the one we're making, I'm going to put the alphabet. Again, Vibe Vintage washi tape, just on printer paper. So that's all that is. And as you can see, there's a bottom, a top, and again, the flap. Whoop, so oh, and I did have a question. Was I using cardstock, paper, this, whatever? Normally I use cardstock, especially if I'm making a flap. Pockets, a flap, I always use cardstock. If I want to just back a page that's already, you know, fairly thick or whatever, I will use just copy paper. And as you can see, 3 inside, 3 inside. I was actually going to just use copy paper. Then after I had it all ready, as I was just making sure everything was going to work out as I wanted, I kind of started thinking, if I'm gluing all this underneath the paper, I suddenly thought, I'd prefer it to be cardstock. So I made one from cardstock so that when I glue it down, if this were paper, I would just feel like perhaps the paper wasn't going to support all the pieces that I'm gluing down. And I'm gluing down on the bottom, on the side, and on the top. So I went with cardstock all the way around. I do mostly use cardstock because I feel that I get my cardstock at Walmart. You get, you know, it's a big pack, and they call it heavy duty. That is not heavy duty to me. So as long as if I'm going to make like an envelope, then I prefer paper, because there's a lot of folding, and then I do prefer paper. But if I'm making flippy flaps and pockets, and I will use cardstock. But I've watched many people use like a heavy paper, but not cardstock, to make pockets. I'm rough enough. I don't need to tempt myself with paper. So I use cardstock. So, okay, before we go any further, also, the measurements of this. You can make your tablet as as high or as not high as you want. I did want it to take up pretty much space, and I just basically wanted enough room to have these fit underneath and not have this push out. So I just measured, and rough measurement, what it came out to be is my actual tablet paper, I believe, was 8.5, because it was just 8.5. I cut this a hair longer just because I didn't want the paper sticking out. I cut it a hair longer. So it's 8.5 by 4 by 3 and almost, let's see, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eighths. 3 and 7/8. I know. I never, ever have a flat measurement. I don't know what it is. Can't seem to get a flat measurement done for myself. Anyway, I put the clamps over here to keep it together, but this is where I want to glue this. So I'm going to glue that on first, so it has a little time to dry. And I'm just going to mark where to stop gluing, but I'm not going to trim it till after it's on. I'm going to do over here. So now I know where to not glue, but I'm not going to trim it until after I glue it on and trim it. Then I'll trim it. And I do try, especially with this paper, to get the glue very close to the edges. Oh, my allergies. Goodness gracious. Okay. One straight line. Straight. Ah, yes. Yes. Devil's always in the details. One straight line. All right. And you kind of do want as thin a bead as you can, because you're probably going to see the wrinkles. I'm not. That is not a deal breaker for me. I do not care. Okay, sorry if I get my head in there. I just want to get it as close to the edge as I can. Just push it there. I want to lift this up so I can hope I'm in frame here. Just want to push that down a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to let that sit a second before I trim it. Okay, sorry if I bumped the... Okay. Alrighty. I did make my envelope, just that as soon as I say I make it out of paper, this one was pre-made. Again, I believe this was a freebie from Vibe of Vintage, I think. From her Ko-fi or coffee. It was already pre-made, and I just thought, well, I'm going to use it. So I just used washi tape on both sides, and I'm using it. And on the original, I actually taped it on this side so it flaps the other way. I thought I'd be different, but now I wish I would have did it the same way, but I didn't. So it is what it is. All right, here's my piece. Sorry for that. Again, this piece, I think what I should do is glue this one on first. This was one of the whole set is from Margaret's 7 Plaza, her kit that she just put up maybe 2 weeks ago. And so it's actually her kit. And there's so much in the kit, and there's so many cute, fancy, I mean, this whole bag. And that's where I got this and this. It wasn't from one of the backing sheets or whatever. It was like just these type of cards, and I cut it down. So, just so you know, that's where I got that. I still feel like I have a hair on my arm. Okay. Now, and as you can see, I also did the same here. I have a 1/4 inch. Is that even? It's not a 1/4 inch, is it? Anybody see where I went with my ruler? Is that let's do it correctly. Oh, yep, 1/4 inch. Okay. On the top and the bottom, I did a 1/4 inch because I wanted to make room, keep room for the tablet part of it. So this is the part that will get glued under. Same with here. That's the part that will get glued under. So I'm going to glue them on first. What I find the easiest way is, and since I reinforced them, it is a little chunky there, is I take my bone folder and really put a good crease on there. Then I put my glue on here, and then I slide that in. Make sure I have it side to side where I want it. And that, to me, is the easiest way. You know, just keep the spine of it flat. That's all I'm really saying. The rest of it, it doesn't matter how you do it, but just keep that flat like that. That way you're only gluing and not, the flap and not the spine. That's all I meant to say. Okay, so I'm gonna just glue in here. And I was watching yesterday, and I think this morning, I was watching Joni's Journals and channel, and she did these like gift bags. She did a Halloween one, but then she did Christmas ones, and they are adorable. So if you plan on giving gift cards or smaller little type gifts or whatever, these gift bags are really cute. So go to Joni's Journals. I'm not sure if I can link my new phone. I'm really having a problem with my clipboard. Is that what it is? Clipboard? I used to paste things to my clipboard, and then I could put them in the description box and put the link in the description box. And on my now Google phone, the clipboard deletes things after an hour. And I never seem to, they're always deleted till I get to them. So I looked it up, and people were like, well, all you have to do is when you clip it to your clipboard, you have to go in and pin it. And once you pin it, then it's there. Well, I've been pinning and repinning, and for whatever reason, my pins are not staying. They're my clipboard. I cut that a hair short, but it's fine. We are fine. So I'm really silently arguing with my clipboard and making sure. Yep. So I can't. I'm really having a hard time, and I'm not able to clip or link, I should say, put links in my description boxes. So just go to Joni's Journals. Super sweet lady. Super sweet lady. So many great videos. Holy cow, so many great videos. She posts way more than I do. All right. Okay. So there we have it. That and that. Okay. Now up here you'll see I have 2 dots, and that is because that is where, I think I can trim this off now, that is where I'm going to put the 2 holes to connect it to the tablet. Okay, let's not cut the tablet. Okay, let me just put some, whoa, let me throw my dauber around, put some ink on that. Okay, and I'm keeping these so that when I do my holes, I'll do my holes on here first, then I'll put this down and mark, and then I will do my holes on here. That's my plan. We will see how well that works out for me. Oh, before I do that, I actually want to get this. I mean, I wouldn't have to do this first, but I want to. Guess I want it. Oh, I mean, not that it matters. You can glue it on and put it over, under. It doesn't matter. Just overthinking. Just overthinking stuff. Okay, I'll put that aside and glue this on. Should I glue this on? Or should I put the tablet in first? I could do it the same way. We're going to go this way. All you have to do is decide where you want it. This end will be a little square, like kind of like that. So you can put this anywhere you want. I want mine close to the bottom. So in order to find the bottom, you want to make sure that you put your spine out, just so you know how far you're holding this will come to the edge. And I don't want it to meet the bottom totally. I just want to give it a hair. Then I want to move, if I can, move that out of the way so that I can get this as close. I'm going to end up getting glue on that. And I'm going to just nip this so that they're not running into each other. Still a little running into each other, so I'm just going to nip it some more. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to open it, put my glue in. Ooh. Okay. All right, there we go. Fold it down. Make sure my, whoop, that didn't hold it out. Make sure my back is all the way to the crease. Like that. But you want to make sure you didn't, which I did not. See, right there's the, I don't know if you can see that, right there is my spine. I'm just going to hold that down for a second, and then we're going to give that a minute to dry. I already got one of these and poked the hole in it, and that is because this, and I had one other thing, but it is not this. Where did I go with it? Oh, what did I do with it? It's not in here. Don't know what happened to it, but it was another piece. I may have picked it up and thrown it in here, actually. It was a smaller square than that, but it wasn't that one. But I could use any of these, really. Any of these I could use. No, I have that one already. Yeah, any of those. So I'll just use, yeah. Let me get the look of it here. Put this back in my bag. Probably dropped it on my floor somewhere. It will have to get used in the next project, because what I did plan is I wanted to, whoop, did I hit you with my head? Probably. Is I wanted to put this here, not all the way up. I'm going to give it enough room because I want to put that there. Because before I glue this down, I got my black waxed. This is waxed. On my other one I did not use wax string, but this one is waxed. I just wanted to use black. And I'm going to glue my string back behind here, because then when this comes up to wrap around, unless I lose that already. All right, so I'm just gonna cut that. I'd rather cut it a little long. I keep my leftovers for decoration, so. Okay, so get these little pieces out of the way. Okay. Oh, there was a hair. Okay, there's my string. All right, here's my. I got out my little hand one. It makes a smaller hole. I'm not sure what size it is, but you'll see the hole after I make the hole. Again, I just measured 1 inch in from the side. So I just measured 1 inch in from the side. Now this piece, I want to decide how much I want hanging out, and I want enough that I lost my little round thing. All right. Well, I'll be digging out another little round thing. So I'm going to glue that in like this between the two holes. I just want to, I want this part to show, so I'm just going to put glue all around here, and I'm going to glue it down. I can get my glue to cooperate. Okay. All right. I'll put it between the two. It'll be like that. I'm holding it upside down. Let me flip that out and just press it like that. Okay. Get my little garbage. My tape away. See, did I throw my little, well, that's drying, or do I have to try and find a new one? Guess I do. Throw this away. All right, let's see. Let me get out a new one. Just I was darn proud of that one, because I had the hole like really in the center. That doesn't happen too often for me. Okay, there. That's the size I want. Here's one with a hole, but that one's pretty crooked. I did have a paper in here, that had the hole on in it already that was like nicely centered. I was hoping to find it. I also want to back this with maybe a piece of cardstock for sure. Thicker cardstock. Oh, that was I guess that was the same. But now I don't know where the one that had the hole in it is. I think it's this one. So I'm going to glue these together. And I don't care that this one already has a hole in it. That may even be fairly center. I am going to get my sanding block because I do want to sand this. Just random little. Okay. Yep. Then I'm just going to put this one. Let's see. Whoop. Get my little. Okay. All right, put that back in there. There we go. I also have some of these out because, and brads, got some brads. Now I'm using my bigger fake rusted brads for the 2 holes. Only because that's what I did here. I actually used 3. So I may get, I kind of like having the big one, so I may do that. But before I do that, let me put this in and mark where we want the holes. Let me open that. So I'm just going to put this in. I'm going to mark where we want the holes. Okay. I don't know if this is going to go through all of it, but we're going to give it the old college try. So, oh, it did. Huh. Might have even had a little overkill there. Oh, if I had my mouth open, they would have went right in my mouth. Okay, so now, whoop, there's the holes. So I'm gonna need the hole here yet. So where do we want it? Where do we want it? Right about there. Stick my pencil in. I don't know if that made a mark. Yes, it did. That look about even? That looks about right. And put it there. Okay. Let's get one more rusty, fake rusty brad. Also, because now these are the, oh, I got a black one. We wanted rust. Okay. I want these in the back. You can put some in the front. Let's see, did I dig out enough for the front? I would have to dig out a couple more. And if I'm going to put them in the front, I don't even know if any will show, if they'll show. Let's see. Do they even show? And a little, but I don't think they show enough to bother with trying to ink them, so I'm not going to. Also, before I do all that, I'm going to put my string on, because that's an important part. Now, I like to, especially because it's waxed, I like to put, you know, enough on the back here that it's, most really don't, but I like to put enough like that. That way, I also tape it, so that's just me. So I just want to let that dry for just a minute, and then I'm going to put tape on it. I want to put a piece here. And really get that down. But I also like to just put a little here. Okay. There it is. All right. Okie dokie. Now we can put this in. We're going to go through here and through here. Okay, no. All right. Flip it around. Grab the tablet. Put that through there. Oh, come on, I know you're... There. All right. Let me flip it over. Boom. Okay. Took the long way to do that. Now on the back, I also want to put two. One there. And one here. Okay. Turn them sideways. Oh, I love. Where'd it go? Sometimes when you rust them, they rust together. Oh, don't tell me I have that both legs didn't go through. That must be what happened. The leg bent. Well, you guys are just... Well, you're lucky you're worth the trouble. That's all I can say. Let's try this one more time. Don't... Yes, there we go. Do not spread the... I don't know what those are called, really. So, just gonna stop talking. Get myself in trouble. Okay, spin it around. There we go. Turn them sideways so that when we open these, they're sideways. Okay. feel like taking the long way. Okay, we're gonna put this on. Get the circle. Put it through. Oopsie. Who knew? Probably because I need a slightly bigger hole, actually. Because my hole maker there was actually for smaller brads. Okay, now on the back of this, because I want it held far enough away, I'm going to just put a couple of these little, and I should glue them together, and I usually do 2 or 3, so I just put a little bit of glue and stick it together. Like that. Press. And because this is, where is my, and then I'm just gonna do it a third one. So 3 of these. You could do 4, you could do as many as you want. So I'm just gonna do 3, I think. That should be enough. Make sure they're stuck together good. Okay. Then, oh, I forgot. There we go. Okay, so then they're like that. Okay, now that I know they fit, I'm just going to put some glue underneath there so that they're actually glued down. I want them glued down because I really don't want the string. I'm going to use my thing again. I don't want the string getting back behind it and then kind of getting jammed in there. So I'm just going to glue it down on this round piece. If I don't drop the round piece. Like that. Okay. All right. Then this will go here. I want to put one of these behind it. Boom. All right, now we can take these off. And then that opens, so you can replace the paper. This comes up. There's our string. So now we're going to wrap it around underneath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to tie a little knot in here. Like this. Now I can cut that off. That I can use for decoration. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That gets folded. We will put a pocket on here. We still have to put up. Yay! All right. Now we get to glue this down on here. So for that, if I can get this glue to work, I'd like to use this glue, but we'll see. can't get it to work, we use our okay. Really haven't used this glue very much, and when you don't use it, you lose it. It starts to thicken, and then it thickens in this little pipette. Okay, so okay, right along. It's hard for you guys to see because the glue is clear, but it's actually hard for me to see because the glue is clear. Try to get it right up to those ends, get it on the string so it stays where we put it. All right. Okay, the glue police are around, I'm in trouble. Okay, now just put it down close to the ends. Let's see here. Oh, okay. I want to open it, flip this up, fold, push. Make sure I'm where I need to be. Make sure I'm where I need to be there. Just keep pushing. Close it. Push down. Close it. Push down. Okay. Whoop. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. There we have that. Now we can decide if we want this or this. I have 2 of those. Don't know, I do have 2 of these. So on the original, I have one up here like this. So this would be up there. Down here, I think I have this one. Yes, this one would be down here. Or we can move them closer, which I'm actually leaning to this, especially because it matches that. And I can move them a little bit closer, like that. So let's do that. Let's do that. Then I will do a rub-on or a stamp on these. So let's put this one here. Like that. And put this one here. Maybe here. Like that. there. Boop. This one. And we basically have these pages done, other than decorating and adding a pocket, which I didn't pick out. So they are done. Next will come decorating. Next will be decorating on it. So there we go. Yay. All right. So next time we'll finish up the pockets where we want them, and we will do the cover, and then it is done. It will be done. Okay, well, until we finish, you got some homework to do, so so get to it, stay creative, and hugs.